Hello, and welcome back to Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. I said I was never going to talk about it, but we're going to talk about the Enigma, because this is an area which, obviously, at the end of last episode, I wasn't a huge fan of. But I've kind of gone back into my head a little bit, and I've thought, okay, let's take a step back, let's see what they were going for. And actually, when I think about the steps that we needed to take to actually unlock the Enigma, we had to do a lot of convoluted stuff that I already, before we got to that point, had to look up because it was, so just convoluted and complex and just difficult to get to, that I think that area was intended as like an optional area for people who were really into that kind of puzzle, the kind of moon logic puzzles that you used to get in point and clicks. And if you look at it from that perspective, it's kind of a little bit better. I think that my main problem is, if they had done that and it was an optional area, right? As in it was truly optional, it had no connection to anything else in the game, you got like a few, minor treasures for doing it. That, I think, is where I would be like, alright, with the current puzzle setup, I'm kind of okay with it. I think the issues come in with that area when you start saying, okay, well, your companion's story is hidden behind this puzzle stuff, so, it's optional. You don't have to do it, but if you want the story for this companion, if you want to know this the end of the story thread that we've left for you, you have to do this puzzle. I think that's where I run into issues. Anyway, that's just my last little thought in terms of the Enigma. In terms of this episode, we've got a lot to do because there was a patch, and this patch has added in something. It has added in the Storyteller's Knowledge. Now, what is this? Well, Storyteller's Knowledge comes from our, it comes from the end of the Storyteller quest. If you hand in enough Elven notes, this was the reward that you were meant to get. However, this reward was not in the game up until this patch that just went in. So what they did is, if you'd already completed the quest, they give you the reward. So, let's read what it does. The secret knowledge the Storyteller shared with you increases your caster level by 2, and provides a +2 insight bonus on saving throws against arcane spells. So far, so good. When making a knowledge or lore check, you always roll twice and choose the best result. That is incredible. I'm a huge fan of that one. Okay. So, it's good that we got that, and that actually, is a proper reward. I think we got nothing. I think he said, I'm going to give you something, and then we got, literally nothing from it, so, yeah, I'm happy with that now. Although we do have more Elven notes, and I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do with those, but anyway. Another thing I'd like to talk about is we missed a trigger for the secret ending in the Enigma. Apparently, shooting the, the midnight bolts at demon lords does cause them to drop a Naharindian crystal when they die, and then you can use that somehow to get something in the secret ending. We're already locked off from the secret ending due to many choices that we made in the past. It wasn't a deliberate decision not to go for it, it's just, generally the secret endings in this type of game are, complex to get to. And going in blind, you just don't know. We may do it again at some other point. We may look at it, may see if there's a save, if there is, depends how much content you need to do to get to that point. But we may look into it later. But right now, we're not on that path. But I just thought it'd be interesting to say, if we were on that path, that's what the Midnight Bolts are for. Which I guess means that the Midnight Bolts right now are just, they're just damage that we could use in the theory. I don't know. We'll keep them in case there's still a story reason not on the secret path, but I don't know. Anyway, getting into the episode itself, we are in desperate need of a rest. We are incredibly encumbered, and we're just really not in a good place. We have to sell a ton of stuff, so that's probably going to be our first plan. We also have time manipulation coming up in 1 day, 6 hours, and 4 minutes. And let me just have a look here. We have enough for the next level of logistics. I don't know if we've already done that one, as in if we've already triggered it. But I guess that would mean that we have no more use for finance, material, or energy points? Probably. Yeah, which is a little weird. Anyway, let's check our Crusade map mode. We'll head back to Dresden, and we'll kind of get ourselves sorted. I think that's step number 1. Oh, also the Aeon asked us to come back to Dresden a while ago. I forgot about that. We actually have nothing going on. Ah, we have logistics reform, but we can't do anything with it until we finish Northern Lights. Okay, so there's probably going to be a lot of waiting in Dresden. That's going to put us to rank 8 at the end of this. So this is the final logistics one as well. Okay, cool. Right, where is teleport? Teleport, Dresden. We have to teleport as we're not able to, I believe we're not able to move on the travel map because we're so encumbered. So let me just have a look around. Yeah. No demon armies. Just thought I'd check before we went in here. Right. And then, let's go to the street first. Yeah. I was thinking rest first, but no, let's go sell stuff first. I think that's my first priority. Then we'll rest. Then I guess we just skip, well, we rest. We skip time until a day has passed so we can use time manipulation on the Crusade map mode. I think we can, yeah, we can skip time in the inside the map mode, like when we're standing at the board without getting fatigued. So that'll probably work. Yeah, I think that's our plan. They have done some other stuff as well in the patch. I believe they've nerfed some of the Aeon dispelling. Because apparently Aeon dispelling was dispelling stuff it shouldn't, like auras. Like if somebody else had an aura, you could dispel it, which is obviously not what you're meant to be able to do. You would have to dispel the aura on the original person, so that makes sense. But they have also in the patch apparently fixed this. Apparently Covenant of the Inheritor was not actually... it wasn't staying on, but it also wasn't actually doing everything it should do, which I think is interesting. So we'll see if that's changed. I don't know. I don't know what it wasn't doing, but I guess we'll know if it's fixed or not by whether it stays on or not. So, yeah, this patch did a lot of interesting small changes. Also changed some things to do with some quests as well, but I didn't look too much deeply into them because I saw that some of them were talking about the DLC, and I was like, we could probably... you know, not spoil ourselves in the DLC. Right, let's go in other way. Okay, yes, I remember the other thing. I knew I had something else that I needed to talk about, and that I was missing that. Woljif. We got a new dagger, which is apparently this one, I believe. This is the dagger that he previously had when we were in the Enigma, the one that we found in the Enigma. There was a secret which allowed you to get an upgraded dagger if you stabbed the final boss with the dagger that we found in there. So this is that secret dagger that we've now unlocked. So it should be better. So it's speed, which I think means that you can... that's haste, right? It's effectively haste, I think. Oh, you can make one extra attack with a full base attack. Yeah, so that is haste. It's not cumulative with haste either. Elder Caustic. Functions like Caustic, except it bypasses any resistance or immunity to acid the target might have. Oh, that makes it so much better. And this +5 speed Elder Caustic Dagger allows its wearer to cast Poison Breath spell 3 times per day as a 20th level druid. Oh, that's incredible. So we're definitely going to equip that. Now the question is, do we want it as our main weapon, or do we want this as our main weapon? We want the better we want our new dagger as the main weapon. It's just better. Also, I will say, in terms of daggers, they're not really looking much like daggers anymore. Oh, I suppose one of them isn't, but like this one, that's almost like a sword length. Anyway, that's why he didn't have a weapon, and that's why we now have a much better weapon for him. Right. Bulk selling. Let's get to selling. Ooh. Do we have anyone who uses sickles? We might. Let's just get rid of anything which is not special right now. Yeah, we'll keep those. Sell the tower shields, the chain shirts, the full plate. Yeah, we'll keep that one. Yep. Sell that. We might have people who could use those. I'll just check before we sell them. Sell those. Sell that. Sell all of these. Sell all of these. Right. Don't want to sell that even though it's... actually, that's not even the one... I don't want to sell that even though it's probably going to backstab us at some point. Sell that. Sell that. Sell that. Sell. Sell. What's this one? Makes all invisibility spells quickened. We're not going to sell it because it's unique, but we're not going to use it probably. Sell all of these. It's quite a lot of money coming in, I've got to say. That's about 2 million coming in so far. I don't think we have any use for money anymore, so this is just purely for style points. Cool. Let's sell all of that. So we now have 3 million gold, which should be enough, I think, for anything that we need in the future. Right, sickles. Who could use a sickle? I think it might just be Greybore. I mean, in theory, Woljif could use them, I guess, because they are finesse wielding. They're not enough damage for Woljif to use, though. Neither of them are enough damage. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out if there's any benefit to them. Okay, so Mage Slayer does 2d6 acid whenever they try and do a spell. So that's got a specific purpose, but it's a bit too specific for my liking. Heavy Pick. Now that one could be him as well. I don't think we have anybody else who can use these weapons, really, at this point. So, I don't think either of these are getting a look in here. I mean, Living Bane would probably trigger more. I just don't think it's worth it. Let's have a look at this one. Spiteful Mockery. So it's still a +5. Allows them to cast Prediction of Failure once per day as a 20th level wizard. What is Cruel? We've seen it on a couple of things now. When it strikes a creature that is frightened, shaken, or panicked with a cruel weapon, that creature becomes sickened for 1 round. Okay, and if you kill an unconscious, use the weapon to knock unconscious or kill a creature, you gain 5 temporary hit points. Okay. Flaming Burst is the 1d6 fire damage, plus it does a fire on a crit, which is already added into the damage calculation. That's Flaming comes from Flaming Burst. Okay. So there's really not a lot else coming out here. Yeah, it's just not enough damage. Yeah, okay. Cool. Anybody else using Medium? You're using Medium. Okay, so is the Singing Steel breastplate better than the Adamantine one? No. Because Singing Steel is mainly a bard thing, and you're not a bard. Okay, cool. Right, next up we have this thing here. This one is for you. Do we want the bonus on ranged touch attacks or immunity to elemental damage? We would like the bonus on ranged touch attacks. And then, do we have a new thing down here for you? I think we do. +2 inherent bonus to caster level and increase the save DC by 2 for all mind-affecting spells. Yes, so this is better than the Goggles of Dreadful Judge, because they don't actually really do very much for you. They just increase your intimidation. And Robe of Air we don't need to do anything with. Right, hello. We now do what we always do. We sell the things that don't have a name. There we go. And then all the way down here, we're going to sell the Robe of Air. Cool. Right. Well, that's reduced what we're carrying, rather, and given us quite a lot of money. Let's head up here and, I guess we'll speak to the mirror, then drop our stuff off. I was thinking there's no way of dropping our stuff off first. We could have rested first if we wanted to, but no. Let's go to the Citadel. We also need to speak with Ninio at some point. Anyway, hello mirror. I promise I've been a good little Aeon. Sorry, a neutral little Aeon. You turn your gaze inward and realize that a strange feeling has been living in your heart for some time. Is this a call? A message? Someone's cry directed to you through space? As you go deeper into yourself and embrace this feeling, your sense of self grows more tenuous while the call grows stronger. With sudden clarity, you realize the time for change has come. The cosmos is ready to correct the mistake made by Areelu Vorlesh. The Bythos Aeons, guardians of the borders between planes, have gathered into legions and wait for just one thing, an invitation. If you give the signal, they will arrive to correct the error in the equation. Perhaps they should have done so earlier. The Axiomites, inhabitants of Axis, have grown tired of waiting for the Aeons to intervene in this conflict. They have assembled a mighty host, the menacing Inevitables, to fight the tide of chaos that invaded Golarion. But they cannot violate the ban imposed upon them. You must first request their aid. Much like vampires, you have to invite them in first. Only then can they help you. You see two powerful forces standing still as they await your decision. You're presented with a choice. Let's assess my possible allies. The inhabitants of Axis are creatures of order. They are mathematics made flesh, cold calculations and living logic. As creatures of ultimate expediency, they forged special creations to battle chaos, which they named the Inevitables. These beings lack souls but possess sophisticated artificial minds and powerful bodies created to withstand the forces of chaos. They are ideal soldiers in your campaign against the Worldwound. The Bythos Aeons are allies of a different kind. They do not align themselves with the primal forces of the universe, but maintain balance between them. They are the guardians of the cosmos, tasked with ensuring the planar architecture remains exactly as it was created, and that time does not cease to flow. The Worldwound is a critical error, a corruption of the universal design, linking two planes through an unnatural bond. The Bythos mission is to break it. Okay, consider asking both sides. Though it would be advantageous, it is not possible to summon both the Aeons and the Axis host. The Bythos Aeons would consider an Axis invasion of the material plane a transgression, much like the demonic one. No arguments would convince them otherwise. Attempt to understand the ban in question. Both the Aeons and the inhabitants of Axis would have long ago intervened in the conflict raging on the material plane if it were not a violation of the rules laid down at the foundation of the cosmos. This plane belongs to mortals, and mortals must decide its fate. Yet the combined weight of your mortal deeds has finally proved great enough to give rise to equally great consequences. In this war, Aeons and Axis warriors will not impose their will on the mortals, but will act according to your will. This way the law will not be broken, and the fate of the material plane will still be decided by a mortal. But what if we're not immortal by the time that we're making the decision? Then it won't be guided by a mortal. But because we're an Aeon, we always were, so we were never immortal. Just, going further down the rabbit hole. So we have to choose here. We can't say, nah, I'm out, I don't need anything. I've already killed all the demons, so let's see what we got. So the Bythos Aeon should have intervened earlier, but let them do it now, or the Worldwound has unleashed too much chaos on Golarion. The presence of Axis forces will not be a crime, but will instead restore a disrupted balance. So this is an interesting one. Do we want to bring in the Aeons to set things right? Or do we want to bring in the Axis forces to balance things up? It's kind of an interesting point. It's like we could put in an equal amount of Axis, or try and just remove the chaos with a neutral party effectively. I think I'm on the side. I think the Aeons seem more like the right choice here. I'm just seeing here. Guardians of the Cosmos, ensuring the planar architecture remains exactly as it was created. Yeah, that sounds better. Okay. Unlocks Call the Aeons decree, allowing recruitment of Bythos Aeons, powerful utility spellcasters. I don't need them. Honestly, I'm fine. What's the other one? Call the Axis army. We can get Call your root Inevitables. Okay. Again, I don't need it. I'm going to take the Aeons. I don't need either of them. I'm done. The cosmic patterns rotate in a cycle of perfect harmony. Flowers of white-hot plasma bloom in black fields of nothingness. Energies, time, and souls flow in intricate currents, intertwining but never merging. This is the grand design. The Aeon in the reflection will not allow the design to be disrupted. It will summon its kin and correct that which needs correction. The Aeon is looking at you, through you, into you. It remains calm because you did everything correctly. You were doing everything correctly because this is your nature. But the Aeon in the mirror is us. So we have judged ourselves and we have found ourselves worthy? That doesn't sound like a basis for government. Anyway, let's drop our stuff in this chest. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to put it in the chest. I think that's the safest option for everybody involved. There we go. I think that's better. I mean, we could carry it around with us, but really all we're doing is tempting fate at that point. We should rest. Okay. I would just like to go to the relevant patch note here. Where are we? Covenant of the Inheritor got useful properties it was supposed to have, and stopped turning off all the time. This is the patch note. It's off. Alright, well, there we have it. I'll turn it back on. Maybe it's just occasional scenes. Maybe it'll stay on more often.
By the way, did you know that the amount of money in an individual's possession is directly proportional to the number of secrets that individual is hiding?
Oh.
A most intriguing observation. I say, let's try to guess the secrets my cousin Galfrey is hiding.
She is secretly Nocticular. That would be a stab in the dark. That would be a great stab in the dark call. I think it's unlikely. Hey, look at that. Covenant of the Inheritor did stay on through the rest. We could always test something. You know what? We're going to test it live, and we're also going to test something else. So, the something else is that the loading screen was absolutely just a solid wall of white when I tried it previously. No? Okay, so we do get something on the loading screen. Now, the true test is, does Covenant of the Inheritor stay on between loads? If it does, that's a huge improvement. Let's see. Covenant of the Inheritor. It's off. Alright, well, you know, they tried. Right, manage Crusade affairs. So, how many hours do we have until we can do the, Oh, we got some more stuff here, actually. Ooh, okay. Let's look at this first. 6 hours and 1 minute. Okay, so if we wait 6 hours and then 1 minute real time, that'll probably work. Executioner. A chilling truth about one of Dresden's jailers has come to light. He secretly became a worshipper of Zon Kuthon, terrorizing all the prisoners, and learned magic that allowed him to use his brutal punishments to leech the life force from his victims. Well, we're going to choose punish out of these two options. Yeah, all units gain the terrifying feat. Oh. Okay, no, I'm going to punish him. That seems good. The acolytes of Zon Kuthon do not belong in a sacred army. Seeing the jailer punished convinced the soldiers that they were right to follow the commander. Good. Call the Aeons as new. Yeah, okay, we knew that one. Enhancing the attractive impulse. Okay, so that was the one from this that we got on the next day pass. Alright, so let's go to... not skip day. I'm going to go campaign. Matt? Wait, can we not do skip time? Oh, we can't do skip time from this one? That's kind of annoying. Can I do skip time anywhere else? No. I can only skip day from here. Okay, so we need to skip 6 hours and 1 minute. Okay. If I go in there and it says we have 1 minute left, that's going to be disappointing. I'm hoping that that 1 minute is real time. So the time we spend in the loading screen maybe also counts towards it. Probably not. Right. Maybe I just wait 7 hours. The sensible decision comes to you after the ridiculous one. There you go. Right. In here. We can always skip day at the top, but... yeah. When we're going for a specific hour unlocks, we have to do it like that. Okay, so time manipulation is available. We don't think we have to do any more building, so that's fine. So now we're going to skip... yeah, now we're going to skip... how many days? So that's going to be 9 days. Yeah, okay. Go. So some of those are done. Wait, that skipped more than 9. Oh no, that didn't skip more than 9. Okay. Let's skip day. I'm going to quick save. I was just thinking if there were any consequences. Cool. The Crown has conducted another military draft. Literally don't care. Because that doesn't... Like, we're not going to do any of that anymore. We've now got the augmentation for this done. Cool. Nemarius' blazing spirit still lives within the relic forged from his burning brand. 3 spellcasters, a fierce priestess of Calistria, a wise druid, and a sinister necromancer have arrived in Dresden. All 3 are asking permission to cast their spells on the relic, and the commander has to decide to whom to grant this privilege. So, one-handed trident with vicious. I don't like vicious. Vicious is the one that means that it attacks back, right? Yeah, I don't like it hurting us. The druid? Okay, it's a flaming burst weapon. Must pass a fortitude saving throw or catch on cursed fire, which makes it unable to cast spells for 1d3 rounds. Okay. Necromancer? It's an axiomatic one. When it lands a hit against a new enemy, it marks it with obedience. Such a mark can only be on one target at a time. If the bearer of the mark tries to attack the owner of the weapon, must pass a will saving throw or suffer a -3 penalty on attack rolls and a -8 on damage rolls for 2 rounds. Okay. We got some interesting options here. The problem with one is just like... I don't think it's that good. Because it's vicious. What was its effect? When it lands a consequent hit on a full round attack, it deals additional damage to equal to the number of hits multiplied by 3. Okay, so that might end up doing a lot of damage in the long run. Okay. The Druid has Flaming Burst, which does a reasonable amount of damage, and it has a good spell effect against spells. Or sorry, it has a good effect against spells. And then Necromancer has a reasonably good one if you're tanking someone. The DC is pretty low on the will save, though. I think Druid is the best out of the 3. I think they're all not good enough, because they're basically competing with whatever Greyboar is using, as he's the only person who could use this weapon. So, the Druid. The wise Druid summoned primordial flame from the plane of fire and poured it from his hand onto the relic. Engulfed, all of Nemarius' malice turned to ash, and the vessel of his spirit was purified and filled with frightening radiance. Wonderful. New decrees. Let's see here. Now, for new decrees, obviously the one that we're waiting for is not yet ready. Let's take enhancing the attractive impulse. We could take call the Aeons to get to just summon 2 Aeons. We could also fire elemental creation. Worldwound researchers. That gets us kineticists. I still don't need them. Glory to the heroes. What's that one? Is that finance points? This Crusade morale, which I also don't need. I guess I'll call the Aeons because we can. Sure. Right. Quick save. Skip a day. And skip a day. Right. Demon armies are approaching. The artifact is complete. The commander now has a secret weapon that can be used during the assault on the Threshold Fortress. Oh. We just have a weapon. We can shine northern lights down upon the fortress now. That's good. And we now have the 2 Aeon. Logistics reform is an obvious one to do. Followed by, I guess we'll go for fire elemental creation. Sure. That's fine. Map. We have 2. We have 1 in the north, 1 in the south. Okay. So let's go deal with them. So this is 7 versus 7. Ooh. Okay, that's a difficult one. Mainly because it's close to what the army we're using is. Well, let's send ourselves down there and try it. Yeah. We should be fine. None of these armies have even looked close to being like on the same level as the one that we can mass teleport in, as in the new ally battalion. Yeah, head down this way. An enemy army has reached you and now attacks. Oh, you see, here's the white square. As technically, it's not a white square, it's a white rectangle, but you know. Who's keeping track? That was pretty good. Delay. That's fine. Walk forward. And then guard. Walk here. Oh, I guess you could attack. Yeah, attack. Walk up here. Guard. This is fine. Still fine. Attack. Attack again. Wonderful. It's my turn now. Fireball. Nice. Attack. You can attack. And again. Hey, we killed one. Move around here. Move up. Move around here. And attack. Wonderful. And attack. We did it! Okay, so we did defeat an army that was roughly the same strength. I mean, obviously they didn't have the general, which kind of sways things, but yeah, it was good. Right. You can head back to wherever you were. I think you were like just sitting there, which is about where you need to be. Yeah, that'll do. Right, where's the other one? It's up next to Hell Knights, right? Yeah, so you're going to have to head down here. You're not going to make it on this cycle. That's fine. We probably won't need to sit there then. Cool. Skip day. Logistics reform has been done. Wonderful. Bastion to fortress expansion. No, we don't want to do this because we want to see if there's a logistics thing that comes from the meeting. Yeah. Campaign. Hell Knights. Let's go. What are we facing? Oh, yeah, that should be fine. Let's go. White rectangle and... Okay, so we do have some spells. What's Harpoon? Pulls the target on the left to the bold... Pulls the target unit to the left border of the battlefield. Why is it making that noise? It must be the succubi. We could pull the raiders over here and then beat them up. Or... Scorching Ray. Scorching Ray the succubi. Okay. You're gonna delay. Shoot them. Delay. Ow. They did manage to dominate, that's fine. Dispel. From you. Cool. That worked. They're coming in. Fireball. That worked really well. Attack. You can heal, but probably just attack the ones in front of you. Twice. Attack them. Attack them. And again. And shoot them. Twice. Move in. Oh, and again. Heal. They're gonna probably just attack. That's fine. Hit him. That's good damage. Do it again. And that one is dead. Wonderful. Okay, both armies sorted. No level up. Oh, we did get a level up. Wonderful. What are we going to take? Salvage we don't need. Don't need. Don't need. This one's good. Don't need. Okay, let's take offensive training. Increase damage for our units. And then you're going to sit like here. Or something similar. So you can jump to either side with ease. That's kind of the goal. So you could jump up here or you can jump down there. Maybe I'll just move you up. Oh, I can't move you up to that one. Okay, cool. Stay where you are. Right, now we've done that. Logistics reform? I think logistics reform is what we do now. Okay, so let's see what this person has to say to us. Once you know, it lets us in. Just a little bit more. And we're in the meeting. Commander. Linda's voice sounds solemn, her eye gleaming with pride. Forgive me for doubting your wisdom. You were right when, in the hardest days for the Crusade, you refused to give up on your conscience and adopt the methods of the Fellows of the Crusade. What can I say? I'm just that good. I'm ashamed for suggesting anything of the sort. Even in that dire hour, you did not stoop to plundering the nation or robbing your soldiers. Both Mendev and our neighbouring states have been inspired by your heroism. A stream of donations is coming in, one caravan after another. We barely have enough room in the warehouses. For the first time in this entire war, I can safely say we don't need to worry about our logistics. Both the common folk and nobility are impressed. They put together quite a sum and are willing to pay for the construction of some important building in the city. I think, I'm not exactly religious, but it seems to me the gods have truly not forsaken us. Let's spend these funds to build a cathedral. May its bells remind people that you must never betray your principles, no matter what hardships you face. If they respect us so much, let's let them build a swanky residence for the commander. She can only sleep in the barracks and tents for so long. The temple is a good option, but I might have an even better idea, I think. These poor lands have suffered so much during the war. We'll help them become lush and plentiful once again. Let those who want to help come here instead of emptying their purses. Together we'll create a magical garden in this wasteland. If they want to help, tell them they can spend the gold on good swords and bows and make their way here. And those who can't fight, buy hammers, chisels, carts, and bring us some solid sturdy stone for our fortifications. And here we are, the crisis passed, and you almost persuaded me to give unlawful orders? Guilty as charged. It's just all too often I've seen common soldiers dying on the front lines, poorly equipped and barely fed. Well, nobody gave a damn about them back home. I thought we were headed for the same fate, but I guess we faced adversity. The way that we chose to die instead of giving in must have touched the hearts of many. I guess they're not made of stone after all. I want to hear more about the council's suggestions. Affirmative. Alright, Linda, what would you advise us to build? A cathedral, of course. A grand temple to the gods in honor of our imminent victory. Our material matters have been sorted out, thank Torag, but we could always use the help of higher powers. What? We've just been handed this gift on a platter and you want to give it to the gods? Aren't you spoiling them just a little? You know what? They can shove it. Don't listen to her, Chief. Just get something for yourself for a change. Woljif, what do you suggest we build? A palace, obviously. What else? They're honouring you in particular, aren't they? Well, then you should build your residence, at least as good as their own, with peacocks in the courtyard and a bathroom and a warm privy. A palace in the middle of a war. Woljif, there's a certain difference between your sob stories about your rough childhood, which, however, we aristocrats who've been eating off golden plates our whole lives could never understand, and the shameless depravity you've just offered us. The Crusade is not a shop you can squeeze every now and again for some quick coin. If I hear any more suggestions to splurge at the expense of this holy cause, I'll take you into a nice warm bathroom or privy. Drown you. Alright, Lan, what do you think the city is missing? Dresden's architects went to great lengths to make this fortress invincible. Yet we were able to capture it, almost lose it, and take it back once more. We must finish their work, build new fortifications, and make it so this city never falls again, no matter who arrives at its gates. A good stronghold and plenty of soldiers, that's what we need first and foremost. The war is nearing its end. We're on the offensive. I doubt we'll need to defend Dresden again, so our enemies should be preparing their defenses. Originally, how should we spend this money? Once, Sarkoris was a rich and fertile land. The best thing we can do is revive that wondrous nature, at least within a small garden. Create a tiny plot of hope that will show everyone what we're fighting for, what this land used to be, and what it will become again after our victory. Once we have a palace, you can grow whatever you like. Flowers, cucumbers, anything. Go crazy. But right now, we need something more substantial and comfortable. The chief and I, we haven't been bending over backwards just to be breaking our backs growing veggies. We deserve decent working and living conditions. Alright, everything is clear to me now. Alright. This one is actually fairly straightforward. Woljif? Come on. No. It's just, like, absolutely not. Lan. I think that Dorslinda shut him down pretty well with the, we have plenty of soldiers, we have plenty of fortifications, we don't need this. So we're between the cathedral and nature. I think I like Vurshile's nature idea better than the cathedral, but we'll see. What are the options? So a palace increases financial, material, and energy points by 25%. Only one palace can be built in total. We don't actually have space to build anything. That's going to be a problem. Okay. Lan. Stronghold. Increases trainable units by 25%. Don't need it. Dorslinda. Cathedral provides all units with a 15% bonus to health, a +3 bonus to attack and AC, and a 10% bonus to damage against demon units. Arushale. A spiritual garden provides a 25 bonus to combat morale of all units, increases general's energy recovery by 50%. Recruitment growth for mythic units increases by 20%. This might even be the strongest in effect as well. Alright, let's do it. I want so badly to see this land bloom and bear fruit once more. I'm sure this garden will bring a hope of a swift victory to many. Commander, allow me to say this. Victory may not be ours just yet, but with the supply lines you built, we can win any battle. I'm proud to have contributed to this immense accomplishment. I gotta admit, there were a couple of times when I regretted joining this council. All those tables, numbers, constant hassles, like where you had to get this and how we lost that. But by some miracle, you've solved this whole puzzle, and you've done it so well that we don't need nothing till we win. Woljif, I understand the content of what you were saying was meant to be nice, but please never use the P word again. I don't want to see an uzzle. I don't want to see a conundrum. I don't want to see a crossword. None of that. Actually, I would quite like one. Oh, no, I don't want to see it. I regret that we weren't able to feed and heal every hero who entrusted their life to us. But you did the best you could. Many in this crusade owe their lives to you. Every Mongol knows that a mistake by the chief can destroy the tribe. Hunger, thirst, disease. They're like unseen predators, ready to consume an entire people the moment their leader slips up. Thank you for not letting them claim this army. Any tribe will be lucky to have a chief like you. I don't think we'll have to call another meeting of this council. You have everything you need for your victory, so go claim it. Develop all aspects of the crusade to the maximum. Done. This is our full list of quests. That's crazy. Oh no, we still got one more puzzle. Now I believe that this puzzle is found in Is. So we find the pieces in Is and then we can go to whatever. But, right. Let's go in here. Just get the ending of our meeting. And then I will see if we've got space for the building. I might delete some things if we need it. I thought it pops up saying you've done your meeting. Guess not. I guess we'll also just do this because we can. Right, get it off the list. Dresden. I don't know if you have to build it in Dresden, but I kind of got the assumption that you should. Build. Did the game just crash? Okay, we're good. Spiritual garden. So I would need to destroy some things for it. Could destroy supply center, monument, and 2 hospitals. Let's do that. Sorry, sell. completely different. There we go. Sell. Right. Sell. We're then going to buy, not that many, just like 500. Cool. And we can build ourselves a spiritual garden. How long is that going to take? 7 days. Okay. I don't think we're going to need it, but like, why not start building it? Okay. So, let's think about what we do next. We have a very small number of quests left. First of all, we go and speak to the Storyteller, because we have another elven note, which means that we've got one more than maximum. We should check that there's nothing else we can do with the Storyteller. We know that we could potentially get the cloak, but we don't have the items for the cloak. So, we will have a look. Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else we need to do. We also don't need to rest, which is good. So we can potentially check for the cloak, check for the notes. I guess I can check where the puzzle pieces are as like a last thing to do before we head to Is. And then at that point, we're basically just mainlining the story until... well, I guess until we're at the end of the act, probably, unless there's a side quest. That's about it. I found a page that might interest you. Another page? But we have already learned my entire story. Could it be? There is another. This can't be true, but still I see it. Another story hidden in these pages will open before us. 3 paces to the left, there is a stone wall. 3 paces to the right, there is a stone wall. Beneath me, there is a rough stone floor. Around me, there is only stone, cold like the hearts of my captors. Caught, imprisoned, here in this black hole, this dungeon. No sky, no sun, forever and ever, until I die. Jagged nails scratching the stone wall, crumbled teeth biting through lips, an inhuman roar clawing out of a throat. The animal they turned me into is roaring. Enough, stop, Areelu. Remember who you are and what you need to do. My will is still strong. It is the only thing I have left. I force my hand down, I unclench my teeth, I stop the growl. I overcome the animal I'm turning into. Even here, even now, I won't give up. I have a plan, insane, dangerous, life-saving. I will carry it out. I will summon the demons of the abyss. I will destroy this dungeon along with all of Sarkoris, perhaps all of Golarion too. So he's remembering Areelu. Interesting. Because this is obviously from Areelu's point of view. But all of the notes were things that he wrote. So either this note is carrying on into, like, maybe Areelu wrote the end of it or wrote in his notes, or he's Areelu. That doesn't really add up, but you get what I'm saying. What is this place? This is a fortress that resists enemies on the inside, not the outside. A prison for those whose abilities have not been approved by the priests of Palura, the shamans of Storasta, or the chiefs of Is. This is the threshold, and I am imprisoned in its deepest dungeon. What were you imprisoned for? The storyteller's lip curls in disdain. For what is the wrong question? The right question is why. Because all the chiefs, priests, druids, and shamans who are afraid of one woman, Areelu Vorlesh, so afraid that their knees tremble, their hair stands on end, and their teeth chatter. They are afraid for a reason. Please continue. My wardens don't know my secret. My cell measures 6 paces wide by 6 long, but it is in fact much more spacious. I bite through a vein on my wrist and let my blood wash over the stone floor of my cage. The falling drops form a black spot, opening a way to my subspace, a small corner of the abyss, my secret haven and my laboratory. I put pressure on the bleeding wound. I wouldn't want to die, no matter how much it would please my captors. I step into the portal. I sit at the table and look through my treasures once again. I know all of them. I know every detail and flaw. They are my route to salvation and my hope. I found them many years ago in the ruins of a well-hidden tower behind a secret door in the laboratory of an ancient mage. Ah, so she found the notes and she added to them. Okay. A heart-sized, uncut crystal burning with purple flame, and a blank page torn from an old notebook. or how much I'd like to look into this notebook, read all of it, but one page was enough. I run my hand over the page. I feel shreds of the words and thoughts of an ancient mage. Oh, okay. So even though it's a blank page, she's got kind of something similar to what the Storyteller has in that she can see a little bit of the person who made it. Someone who walked the same path that I'm walking. There is much that I don't understand. Many things escape me. I hear echoes of frightening names. Baphomet, Deskari, Nocticula, and Kinney. Who is Kinney? It doesn't matter. These shreds of knowledge were enough for me to devise my own method of opening a rift between Golarion and the Abyss. Not to escape. Oh no. I can escape now. It's not hard with my abilities. But to fight for my future and the future of my child, whom my captors killed in front of me. And if Golarion is doomed to perish in my struggle, so be it. For the future of my child whom my captors killed. She talking about bringing back the dead? Is that the end goal? I wonder if the ancient mage who wrote the book, to which this page belongs, would be proud of me. The Storyteller raises his face and stares at you with his blind eyes. Am I proud? I want to say that I am not. That I am ashamed that my work has been used to help open the Worldwound, and there is still a glimmer of pride in me. The pride that my work has proved a success. The Storyteller sighs hopelessly. Pharasma was right, wasn't she? This knowledge should have been destroyed from the start. This is so hypocritical. I love it. I'm in no position to judge you. Literally, that's all we do is judge literally everyone and everything. Anyway, evil stems not from knowledge, but from the people who possess it. The Storyteller nods. There is wisdom in your words. If Pharasma hadn't made me tear up my notebook and forget about his existence, I would have just hidden it as far away as I could, and Areelu might never have found it then. The Lady of Graves is as much to blame for what happened as I am. And still. The old man hands you the last blank page of his notebook. Please take it. It no longer belongs to me. It's part of another, even more frightening and dangerous book. Destroy it or keep it. It doesn't concern me anymore. Alright. We're just doing the same one to just remove the menu option. Cool. I don't have the bits. Okay, cool. There's nothing I can do to get the bits other than just check every now and again. Alright, what does blank page do? Also, I now have this trident I need to get rid of. Blank page. Okay, so I guess we can show that to Areelu or something. I bet that the blank page, also just pointing out Covenant of the Inheritor, I bet the blank page is probably to do with the secret ending. If I had to take a stab in the dark, I would say that if you want the secret ending, it's going to involve having all the Naharidian crystals. It's going to involve having, you know, the full story about Areelu, which probably is why you need the projector that I destroyed, which I don't even remember destroying, really. I think I probably just pressed a button too many times. But yeah, you probably need the projector, you need the crystals. The crystals and the projector give you the full story along with the blank page. And then when you have the full story, you speak to Areelu, and Areelu's like, aha, well now you know my full story, I can tell you some more. And then we get whatever the final ending is. That's just my spitball on it, but I don't know. Maybe there's more to it. Not you. Ah, Ninio. Hello. Just do a little quick save. Oh, so yeah, we probably know why she's glowing now as well. Ninio was diligently looking through her fragmented notes. Cross this out. Rewrite that from scratch. This needs some improvement. And this can stay as it is, although, no, rewrite this too. She raises her head. Ah, it's you. Back there in the Enigma, you called me by my name. Have you decided to remember me after all? Girl, what are you talking about? Your statement is absurd. That just couldn't have ever happened. The chances of such a thing occurring are 0.01%. That's not really that unlikely. She looks around and lowers her voice. I'll ask you not to mention it again. A scientist of my standing must be above such things as irrational sentiment and mundane affections. Even the fellow on the street knows that one's reputation is everything. Will you tell me about yourself now, after all that's happened? After all that's happened, it's you who should be telling me about myself, in case I decide to forget anything. She blinked several times. But no, as of now, I haven't forgotten anything, I think. Have you remembered anything about your past? More than I ever wanted, and probably less than you would like, since you're asking me about it. Ninio sighs. I remember a woman from Tianzia. She was a cultist of a Reshkagel who managed to find a way to reach the Enigma. She stood before the Faceless Sphinx, took an oath, and dissolved into a blissful nothingness. Totally unremarkable as biographies go. Her consciousness and mine have nothing in common. I simply make use of her body and retain some of her memories. Someone with an interest in spiritualism might call it remembering a past life. Here's an interesting fact. Physically, I'm approximately 4,000 years old, give or take a few centuries. By the way, did you know that in several developed cultures, old age is considered a sign of wisdom and a reason to revere a person and fulfill all of his or her wishes, even if said geriatric is suffering from senility? Let's conduct a little experiment. Bring me a watermelon, a blue one. One that goes cock-a-doodle-doo. For a few seconds, Ninio stares at you intently, then she sighs and starts taking notes on a piece of paper she produces from her sleeve. The experiment resulted in failure. Did you remember your real name too? Ninio nods and is silent for a while. You know, I cannot say that I approve of Reshkagel's circumlocutory rhetoric, but in this particular case she has a point. A name is just a set of sounds. It makes little difference if I go by the name Ninio or Onion or any other collection of sound vibrations produced by vocal cords. My real name, it is ordinary. There's nothing special about it. I doubt I would ever be able to associate it with myself. I should probably forget it. But for some reason, I'm keeping it in my memory for now. Perhaps I'm simply growing old and making spontaneous displays of sentimentality. Are you still forgetting things you consider irrelevant? Ninio rubs her nose. Were you asking about something? A mischievous twinkle flickers in her eyes. You're not going to stop writing your encyclopedia and conducting your experiments, are you? How could you even ask such a question? Just because Nenio's become a bit disheartened and had a moment of weakness, you think you'll be getting a little holiday? No, my loyal follower. Nothing is going to save you from new experiments. Well, that's understandable. Understandable is good. I do so love it when things are understandable. Alright, see ya. Wait, apparently they fixed some dialogue with hello? Hello? Nope. Okay, I think that dialogue was intentional. But it does say, that in their patch notes, it did say fix some dialogue with hello, and I'm like, I have no idea what that means. I think it means probably that awkward bit where I wasn't really sure what was happening might have been filled with like an extra line of dialogue. This one I remember from the patch notes. This guy has a tail. Apparently he had lost it somewhere, but now he has it again. That's good. I don't know if I ever told you, but I was confirmed in the comments that this is indeed the ward stone, and that's what that's doing there. So we were right on that front. Let me think. Is there anything else we need to do? No. Oh yeah, one thing I was thinking about Ninio. I remembered what character she reminds me of. In Jade Empire, there's a scientist, which is why it connects. Can't remember what his name is, but he also had memory issues and like discovered a connection to a god in the end. And I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of similar, isn't it? And I was just like, oh yeah, it is kind of similar. Also, this is turned off in every single building. I don't know what they did to it, but whatever they did doesn't work, I think. Anyway, area exit. So, this is the party we're taking to Iz. Who are we taking? We're taking Sela. That's a given. Sela is, you know, a paladin of Iomade. She's quite clearly, like, the only person who would get any level of, well, maybe there's one or two others, but like she's the only respectable member of our party with no, like, you know, asterisk at the end where you have to say respectable, but under this circumstances people are likely to fall out with her. She's probably like just the perfect person to bring along as a general hero type. Regil. I think you have to be our other one. Why does Regil have to be our other one? Well, we're allied with the Hell Knights. Although he isn't a Hell Knight anymore, I think he's kind of, you know, still a respectable military leader in our group. Like, if we were to bring along Greybor, we're bringing along our personal assassin, right? We're not going to bring along Sociel. He's a painter. Woljif? I considered it. The problem with Woljif is obviously he's a thief, he's a coward, and like all of that. So that's not good. We're going to bring along Darren. He actually does fit in lore-wise as well, which makes it even better. Because he is the cousin of Queen Galfrey. Then that leaves us 2 slots. We have Ninio and Ember fighting for the last spot. I think Ninio is going to lose out to Ember here. I think Ember is the more sensible choice. Ninio is cool. I just don't think that Ninio is going to have as much to add to a conversation as Ember might if we run into a Demon Lord or something. So Archer is our last choice. And Archer has to be Areelu, because we need a thief. And that means that she's really the only option. We have to bring her, or we have to bring Woljif. So if we're not bringing Woljif, we're bringing her. She is redeemed now, I suppose, so that kind of adds up. Cool, so that's our party. Lan would have been great to bring. The problem with Lan is obviously that then means we don't have a thief. So, yeah. I think Lan would have been brought over Areelu if we were going pure story, but our thievery is way too low to get away with that now, so there you go. There's our party. And we do have a new buff for Ember, so that's kind of cool that we're bringing Ember along. Yeah. I also think it's kind of nice, because I just went into the previous dungeon with pretty much like everybody else, apart from Greybor. Yeah, so it works out quite nicely. Okay, so before we head there, I know, it's like one more thing. Final Veil. Let me just look it up. Because I want to make sure that we are going to the right place for this. There's not somewhere else that I'm missing. I just want to check that this is the final place we need to go. Okay, so I've confirmed it. The Final Veil puzzle pieces are, of course, because we looked up previously, they're in the Bone Hills, which is roughly here, but we can't see the Bone Hills until we have gone to Iz. So, yeah, we need to go to Iz. Actually, they might be here. No, that's where we think Threshold is. Yeah, so they have to be here. But we can't get them to appear until we head to Iz. So heading to Iz is our last thing that we need to do. So, I think what we're going to do is we're going to end the episode there. Thank you for watching. And next time, it's off to Iz to see Queen Galfrey. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.